This is a country that is only 400 square meters in size, smaller than a basketball court, yet it has restaurants and bars. In order to have their own country, Rosa and Dapeng brought steel pipes to the high seas, filling the hollow pipes with seawater. The first one was successfully set up on the surface of the sea. Seeing that the method worked, they continued to work for several months, and finally built a 400 square meter platform. Rosa was extremely excited, and decided to spend the first night there. However, the weather on the sea changes quickly. One moment it's a comfortable breeze, and the next moment, a heavy rainstorm falls. Luckily the platform was sturdy enough. At that moment Rosa saw a small boat floating toward them. He quickly waved his hands to signal that they could come over for shelter. This was how the first resident arrived, a welder. With his help, houses were quickly built on the platform. The second resident was a public relations officer, who had been disqualified from international service for being a deserter. Hearing that a country was being built on international waters, he eagerly came to join. To live here he named the island Rose Island, and set up a sign at the harbor. This attracted many tourists who came for visits and vacations. As the number of tourists grew, Rosa opened a bar and a restaurant, creating a carnival on the endless sea. Tourists felt incredibly relaxed because the country's philosophy was freedom. Many tourists came from all over just to see what this 400 square meter country was like. Despite the many visitors, Rosa's ex-girlfriend told him that it couldn't really be called a country. Rosa seemed to realize something. If they wanted others to recognize this as an independent country, they needed a government. That evening they assigned roles. Rosa became the president of the Rose Island Republic. The public relations officer was appointed as Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Dapeng became Minister of Internal Affairs. They then submitted an application for nationhood to the United Nations. Not only did the United Nations not reject their application, but it also notified the Italian government. The Italian government became very nervous, and sent investigators to Rose Island to look into the matter. But to their surprise, these two investigators never returned. They chose to settle permanently on Rose Island instead.